Welcome, everyone, to another Wednesday night brand night. I'm Sherry Danzig, and it is my pleasure to talk about the Nikken brand. The products are all under the umbrella of a wellness home. And tonight, what we do every Wednesday is we dig into a particular product, sometimes a product category. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on the water. So let me grab my PowerPoint. Okay. And we'll get started. Just a little techie stuff here. Thank you for your patience. Okay, hopefully you can see the screen. Everybody see the screen? Bela, give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you connect with nature is really the theme of Nikken's product line. It's all about biomimicry, and this is how we are bringing the wellness home in such a way that it allows people to bring, we spend so much time indoors, it allows you to bring Mother Nature indoors every day. So we're going to focus on the water, as I said, and look at this gorgeous picture. It's the water system is called the Waterfall, and it is because it is nature's perfect water. You'll hear more about that. So let's talk about the problem to begin with. So most people, if you're in any group, any room, any building with lots of people, 75% of that group is likely to be way underhydrated. Chronic dehydration. And that causes all sorts of trouble. It's not, it's a little bit worse in Canada. Some places it's better, you can see, but it's a struggle that a lot of people, I'm sorry, 70% of Canadians are, so they're a little bit better than us, but not by much. So it is a worldwide issue of people not drinking enough water or not being well hydrated. And why is that such a big problem? Well, most of our body is water. We're 70% water. In many places you can see in the brain it's 70%. That really matters there. And so just the slightest loss, like 2.5%, as you see here, makes a difference. So it doesn't take much for you to really feel the effects. But the other way around, I like to look at the positive side. On the other flip side, it doesn't take that much to make sure you're getting enough water so that you can really benefit from having the all the functions and all the benefits that being well hydrated allows. But look at this here. The loss of 15% is usually fatal. So it's serious. And as we're starting to move into the warmer climate, warmer temperatures, it becomes even more serious. And you hear these horrific stories sometimes of young people that are out with the sport and it's hot and go into some sort of a real crisis with being dehydrated. So how do we lose water? Well, we lose it about 10 cups a day, as you can see, obviously from urination, but perspiration about 2 cups a day. So that speaks to if you're perspiring a lot because you're out and it's hot, you probably need to drink more water. That's a very common sense kind of approach. But look at what the issues are that it leads to. Fatigue, we get that. Joint pain, weight gain, headaches, ulcers, high blood pressure, kidney disease, and diabetes. And I will also add to this is brain fog. So again, from the positive side, think about when you are well hydrated. It raises your energy. Your joints feel better. You have an easier time losing weight. Your headaches are lessened. Your likelihood of headaches are lessened. Your likelihood of getting ulcers is lessened. I would say with kidney disease, the likelihood of getting kidney stones goes down quite a bit. Your blood pressure can be affected. Diabetes can be affected in a positive way when you stay well hydrated. So water is not just a beverage choice. And I like to say when I'm doing presentations, you've heard this so often, that we are what we eat. And I truly believe we are what we drink as well. So it's not that all water is the same. But dehydration is the kind of the baseline that either helps us to be healthier and helps our body functions to work better, or it is the first step towards chronic disease. So it's very serious. Half of your body weight in ounces a day is what is recommended. So you can do the math. And your body will crave water if you pay attention to it. I run into people all the time that say they don't drink water, they don't like water, they just haven't found water that's a good source, and that can be a problem. So, what are the choices of drinking water? Because we do have choices. So, of course, tap water, the benefit of that is it's inexpensive. We're lucky in North America to have water that the municipalities have given us water that is relatively healthy. I say relatively healthy. It's not, laden with disease and bacterias and so forth, as in third world countries. So we're blessed in that respect. But I think we sometimes get too comfortable. We think that chlorinated water is okay. But chlorine, I like to say it's a necessary evil because the municipalities need to put the chlorine in there to kill the bacteria, kill the things that would be, really create a sickness when you drink the water. But the chlorine itself is a toxin. So, and there's plenty of other contaminants in tap water, plenty of other contaminants, not to mention, lead, arsenic, on and on and on, different pesticides, herbicides, there's all sorts of things. It is regulated, so that's better than the next choice. Um, and this idea of it being less bioavailable, you may not be familiar with that term, but that means how easily does the body absorb it and use it. And believe me, folks, I have worked with a lot of different people, professionals, and some doctors that do testing of hydration levels. And sometimes their patients are talking about how they're drinking a lot of water, but they're still underhydrated. And the reason I know that is because that's when I get a phone call about talking to somebody about our water filtration system, which we're going to get to in just a second. So let's look at other choices. So bottled water. Well, bottled water is a huge industry, and I would say we've been duped quite well with the bottle industry. It's if you're looking for a successful story in marketing, you got it with the bottled water industry because they lead us to believe that if it's in a bottle, it's better than tap. And there was a big study that was done where they showed that 1 out of 4 of the bottles was tap water in plastics. So you're getting everything that's bad about tap water, and then you're putting it in the plastics. So it could be filtered tap water. You would hope so, but it's not always. About 1 in 4 times it's not, and about 1 in 3 times there's from the bottling process. There's different chemicals that can be found in the water when it's tested. Expensive. It's very expensive. The cheapest bottled water that you'll find is about $1 a gallon, but it can go up to $12, $16 a gallon if you do the math. If something is $4 or $5, these you know, designer labels of water, and they're many dollars per bottle. If you do the math on it, you'd be aghast of how expensive it is. So the very best choice is to filter your own water, and because you have a lot more control over it. However, all filters are not created equal. So, what do you want to look for in a filtration system? Well, you want something that's advanced. You want something that has independent testing. When people ask me to compare our water system with one that they're checking out, or maybe one that they already have in their home, I always go to the website to look and see, does it have the independent testing? So this ANSI, excuse me, or NSF, are two of the credible certifications that are, they're not biased. It's not a particular company. It's a certification that you're searching for to be sure that the water system is taking out what it's supposed to take out. You're looking for water that helps to correct the pH, that can make the water slightly alkaline. Between 8.0 and 9.0 is what's considered in the industry worldwide to be the favored range of pH for water. Having special ceramics adds minerals to the water. So you want water that has minerals to it. If you can find water that's microclustered, what that means is that the molecules tend to clump together, and when you can break those clusters up, changing the structure of the water, it hydrates better. And of course, it's cost effective. You want something that is not going to be crazy expensive. So these are all things to be looking for. So what we're talking about is the Nikken Waterfall. It's a really good looking system. I love that it's small. I love that it's portable. Just some practical things about it. Whenever we go to the beach, um, you go to an outing, you go to a cookout, any place. I mean, I carry my water system everywhere. I refuse to buy bottled water. If I go to somebody's house for a party, I'm bringing my water system. People just know that about me. So what's great about it? Well, it hits those standards and beyond of what is considered the at least the bottom line standard of the NSF standards. So it hits all of that. You can see the bacteria reduction is almost 100%, which is huge. The water in Atlanta is some of the worst in the country, and so I really appreciate that. This water is ionized, so that means it's not ionized through anything other than natural ions that are part of the filter. So there's another system out there that is also a Japanese company that is uses electricity, and ours does not use electricity, which not only is good in terms of having the water be healthier because you're not running an electrical current through your water. But it's also much more convenient. If you lose power, you don't have to stop using your filter because it's reliant on electricity. It does produce alkaline water in that sweet range. Um, and people, when this description of it being smooth, I don't know if you've ever just heard that described or you would ever think to describe the texture of water. But this water actually that's what people often describe it. It feels smooth, it feels wetter. That's that restructuring. I tell people to hold the water in their mouth before they swallow it when they're first, exploring this water system. They can feel the difference. And an eco-conscious design. So it's designed to, first of all, the plastics are using a plant-based plastic, so it doesn't, there's no chemicals that are being put into the water. It's great for the environment, it's great for your body, and it's great for your wallet. It's very, very reasonable to maintain this system. And you can see down here at the bottom the BPA free. So there's no, even though it is a plastic, it's better from a plastic standpoint, so it's lighter and so it's not easily to break, but it's a good kind of plastic. So I love this. If Mother Nature poured you a glass of water, that's what you'd get here. And that is by design. Do some research on pie water. You see, ours is called a pie mag because we have a magnetic field. But Nikken is started in Japan, and it was Japanese scientists that discovered pie water. Nikken specifically did not discover pie water, but their scientists, the scientists that designed the waterfall, were already understanding the influence of what pie water meant, and that pie water was water that, well, they discovered it based on an area in Japan where the crops were flourishing, and they wanted to figure out why were they producing such healthier plants and so much more volume of plants, and they started studying what was indigenous in that area, and eventually, came up with it being pie water. So it's this living water, and that's what pie means. It means living water. So let's take a look at the cost here. Now, when I looked at this earlier today, I was kind of surprised. First of all, you see under the column of Nikken Waterfall, our unit is not $636. It's $468, and it happens to be 20% off in the month of March. So if you're listening to this and you happen to be listening to it in March, you can get 20% off. The filters, saying it's $255 because after you purchase the system, the only expense then is to replace the filters and replace the mineral stones. However, most of my customers change the filter every 3 to every 5 months, depending on the usage. So these numbers are actually pretty, I think they're high. I think they're several $100s high. But look at the comparison of reverse osmosis water, Walmart water, which is not great water, and look at the difference in cost over time. It's it's staggering to see that. So, this works out to be about, under 25 cents a gallon. And that's why I was saying when you are looking at water that is those you can go to like Sam's Club and buy these giant, packs of like 40 bottles. That is 5 gallons of water. And the cheapest I've ever seen it is for $5. So that makes it $1 a gallon. So it's 4 times as much money and probably 40 times as poor quality, if that makes sense. So we're not going to really talk about the shower. Next week, we're going to talk about the shower, but I do want to have you thinking about it and show up next week because that is the most toxic time of your day, unless you work in a chemical factory. If you don't have a filter on your shower, your skin is your biggest organ and it is absorbing all the junk you don't want to have in your water. And the handheld shower happens to be also on sale this month. So did want to mention that we do have a pack. Now, the water bottle, this is an older slideshow. The company is having a new design on our portable water bottle. So the new pack comes with the Waterfall and then your shower of choice. And this is a way that you can get started with both drinking water and water that you're going to shower in. So either the handheld or the wall shower. And you get replacement filters in this pack. And it's a savings. You save 10% and that's great. Everybody loves to save some money. So we invite you to be a part of our global wellness community. And so get with the person that invited you, whether you're listening in person now live or the recording, and ask questions so that we can help you decide what is the best choice for you. And here's a little bit of homework for you. So you can pick your phone up if you're not using your phone right now, and you can grab the QR code for this, a brochure and a video about how to connect with nature. So the top one is a video that's awesome. And then the How You Connect with Nature as a magazine that's called the Self-Care Awakening magazine. Those are two really great resources for you to learn more. Okie dokie. I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to stop the recording.